So I say all that to say that's it. No one has been married. My yaya was married, but they were separated before I was born. Never in my life seen a relationship play out. I'm looking at your lab results. She's trying to go over everything else. I'm like, girl, I don't care about none of that. And HSV 1 and 2 positive. She was like, I remember you asked for the test specifically. Like
I don't want to pity a grown ass bodied man. This is who I'm supposed to be led by.
Being a woman that was raised around all women, and not just all women, I'm talking strong, opinionated alpha women. I am a woman who comes from a family of all women, and I hate when y'all make me agree with men. I hate it when men are right. I'm not gonna say they're right, I'm gonna just say they're not wrong. It's good enough, right? Recently, there's a man that I never really wanted to lose in my life, whether we were together romantically or just friends or whatever. I never wanted to lose that man. I lost that man. He described to me the exact feel. Like, in this instant, I felt like this. In this instant, I felt like that. And when I tell y'all I cried for 40 days and 40 nights, okay? Not only did I cry because I was broken, that I was losing the man, but like, I never in my life wanted to make anyone feel like that. And in fact, the things that I was or wasn't doing, I did it in hopes of not hurting him, but it had the exact opposite effect on him. Every man that I've ever dated have ever said, like, I don't know how much you like me, or I don't know if you like me, or like, I don't even know how you feel about me. And to me, I was just like, what am I not doing? Like, I don't know, I like you. What am I not doing that other women do? And no one was ever able to describe the way that they felt, but this man specifically described everything. And y'all, when I cannot stress it enough, like, tore me apart. So to give you guys a little context on the way I grew up, because I know somebody's gonna ask, let me give y'all my little family tree, okay? My dad's mom, my grandmother, had 2 children. My aunt, who was my yaya, who I grew up as her being like a parent to me. My yaya has no children. I was literally like her child. I slept in the room with her. She got me up, got me ready for school. She came and picked me up from school, took me to doctor's appointments, everything that a parent would do. My aunt was doing that. And my dad was kind of like an uncle. Like, I remember playing Yahtzee with him, playing Monopoly. When the car broke down, he walked me to school, stuff like that. But she was like my parent. After 2nd grade, when I stopped going to my grandmother's house through the school year, like, my mom and my sister was just driving me to school from where we were, my dad left. My dad moved to Canada, and we didn't really have a relationship. Like, I would call him on his US phone number, and then he would call me later from a restricted number, like whenever he got the missed call. That was pretty much sums up our relationship. I went to visit him one time in Canada. I think I was in high school. I was either in 8th or 9th grade. It was so awkward, y'all. Literally, it was so awkward. I was ready to go. And then he took me to this like apartment complex, this big ass, tall ass apartment complex. He's like, oh, I gotta go pick up something. I was outside for like 45 minutes. Come to find out, that was his actual apartment. When I was there, we were staying in, this is way before Airbnb, we were basically staying in the Airbnb. And how I know it is because when we went in there, it had like furniture and stuff, but it's no personal belongings in this place. Like, it wasn't any photos, it wasn't any clothes, it wasn't anything. It was literally like an Airbnb. So yeah, that sums that up. My dad, he has 2 sons that were 26 and 27 years old when I was born. My dad was 45 when I was born. With all that being said, my brothers weren't really around when I was growing up. Like,
so pretty much what happened, she had a bunch of independent women. She was in a house with them, and then they were raising her, learning their traits, different things, all of them. No man. But wait for it. She's gonna tell it.
Like, yes, they came to visit me, but it was just like a family member visiting. They didn't feel like a part of my immediate family. I don't even think I've ever even been to my brother's house, like either one of my brothers. Like, to this day, if I have gone to their house, I'm too little to remember it. Don't know. So that's my dad's side. My mom's side, my mom's mother, my grandmother, she had my aunt. My aunt has 2 daughters. My older cousin was 18 years old when me and her younger sister were born. I am 3 months older than her younger sister, so we kind of grew up like sisters. But my aunt never married, was never in a relationship or anything like that. My older cousin, she then later on, got married, but I've never really spent time with her. I think I've been to her house maybe once or twice in my entire
never seen
life.
a man
Like,
around.
she was kind of like my brother. She would stop in to visit, but that was it. Like, there was no real relationship there. My mother is the middle child. My mom had my older sister. She was 14 when I was born. The last relationship I remember seeing her in was when I was like 2 or something. They broke up. I never saw her in any relationships. My mom has never been in a relationship. And then my grandmother had my uncle. He struggles from severe mental health issues, so he's been around, but we've always had to care for him. He hasn't been able to be like a functioning family member in the sense of the way you would think an uncle would function in the family. So I say all that to say that's it. No one has been married. My yaya was married, but they were separated before I was born. My mom hasn't been married. My aunt hasn't been married. My dad wasn't even married. Like, I have never in my life seen a relationship play out. A good one, a bad one, just in general. Everything I know about relationships and from men are from what I see on TV or what I see from someone else's family. Like, when I was in high school, I babysat for my coaches and I was close to them. So they were married, I would see that dynamic, but like, you don't get to see it on an every day-to-day basis. It's different. I have no idea like how to navigate a relationship. I don't even know what it feels like to live with a man, if I'm being honest, like of any sort. Romantically, platonically, I have no idea how it feels to have a man in your life.
Never saw it.
You know, in like a position of authority. I've never had it, and it has affected me. And when that man was on that phone describing the way I made him feel, because like I said, men have always told me that, you know, I don't know if you like me, I don't know how you feel for me, I don't know this, I don't know that, but they've never described it. When that man was on that phone describing it, it broke me down so bad, y'all. I was like, I never want to make anyone feel like this. So that's when I really started learning, like, why do all men say this? Like, this is a man that I didn't want to lose. How am I losing this man? Like, what am I not doing? What is going wrong? God damn, it's hot out here. But when I figured it out, my whole point of this whole thing is to say it all stems back to being a woman that was raised around all women, and not just all women. I'm talking strong, opinionated, alpha women, all of them, every single one of them. There's not a passive woman in my family, and we're all single. So, yep, do with that information what you will.
Wow. From grandmother to granddaughter. She broke down the whole family tree, broke down the situation they're in. We're all single and alone, and we're all strong Black women. So what has that done to her entire life? She's made dumb decisions. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. When I was raised by my parents, they told me to watch out for certain girls out there, to wrap it up. Even people I hung around, they wrapped it up. They were, always aware, like, I don't know what that person's been doing. I don't know what this person's been doing. I say that to say this is the same girl.
23. So on December 20th of 2023, I went into the gynecologist for a routine appointment. She did a pap smear, and I was like, well, since I'm here, can you also do blood work and run a full STD panel, including HIV, because some places, I don't know, when you ask for STD testing, they don't test for HIV. And I also said including HSV1. HSV1 is herpes simplex virus 1. It is the oral herpes. And some places won't test for it because a lot of the population actually has oral herpes.
This is her without the glasses. If any of you guys can imagine, this is the same girl. Her name is Kiara Tiffany, by the way.
Herpes, a cold sore. So a lot of people test positive for it, but then they don't want people to freak out because a lot of people may not ever have a breakout. I don't know. That's what one physician told me, and I was like, I don't know what everybody else do. I would like to know all of it. Anyway, so I asked her for those labs, and she asked me, am I asking because I have any concerns, or am I asking because I want to do preventative testing? And I let her know preventative testing. If I am playing adult twister, then I get tested every 6 months. If I'm not playing adult twister, then I get tested once a year. The last time I had been tested was March of 2023. It was now December 2023, so I was like, just include it in there. When I left the OBGYN office, I normally go to Quest.
Yeah, see, that's the dangerous thing. Why are you doing it without a condom? She's playing Russian roulette every time. There were tons of girls I was with back in the days. I never, ever did it without a condom. I remember I was with this girl one time. She said, "Oh, I don't mind having a baby." I'm thinking, no, I don't want to get you pregnant because she was a little bit crazy. And also, I don't know where you've been.
Diagnostic, which is to the right. I went there and it was probably like 5:30 and they didn't have any more appointments left because I think they closed at 6 or something like that. So I was like, damn, but there's another urgent care right on the left and they have a lab in there. So I went to that urgent care to get my blood drawn. This is very important. That was on the 20th. On the 23rd, I got a notification that said my results were ready in the portal. I logged onto the portal. I didn't even go to the STD testing because I look at my blood work first. A doctor once told me that I am mildly anemic. So they asked me to take iron. Anyway, so I checked my blood work first. And then I was checking the STDs one by one. Not detected, not detected, negative, not detected. And then I get to, it said like HSV 1 and 2 antibodies or something like that, or antigens. And then it said like a high level of it. I immediately got on the phone with that doctor's office. She looked it up and she was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna see if the physician call you back. Yeah, you see what I see. She called me back and she was like, oh, I'm looking at your lab results. She's trying to go over everything else. I'm like, girl, I don't care about none of that. And she was like, oh, I'm looking on here and it says, you know, HSV 1 and 2 positive. She was like, I remember you asked for the test specifically. Like, is there something that you're worried about? There was nothing I was worried about. Actually, I was completely fine until I just logged on here and saw that it was positive. So now I'm freaking out. I am really freaking out. Like, I can feel myself, like, I can feel the anxiety just building. This is the first time I've tested positive for anything, mind you. And she was like, yeah, you know, you've never tested positive for anything. Like, I'm gonna just have them run it one more time because we don't know if it's HSV1 or HSV2. HSV1 is oral herpes. HSV2 is genital herpes. She was like, so we're gonna have them rerun the test. This was on the 23rd of December. This was right before Christmas. The whole time during Christmas, I'm like stressed. Thank the Lord I was on Christmas break from school because that would have been too much for me to handle. I done cried. I'm like, oh my God, you know, like what? Thankfully that I was in school at the time. So like I had learned about this. So I'm like, okay, you know exactly what herpes is, how it works, like what you have to do, like just calm down, you'll be okay. So then I'm like, wait a minute, I got it from somewhere. So I didn't say nothing because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until she run the second test. I finally got the results back on December 28th. I got the portal notification first. So I logged online. I seen that it said HSV1 not detected, HSV2 not detected. As soon as I was getting off of the portal, my phone was ringing and it was the physician telling me like, hey, good news, you actually don't have herpes. And I'm like, okay, well, why did I test positive? She's like, I don't know. So apparently that urgent care runs a different test than Quest Diagnostic does. And for whatever reason, there's some antigen in my blood that will always test positive on that specific test. Now let's fast forward to March 3rd of 2025. Now I'm going to the primary care physician. When I get a physical, I also tell her about my hip on the right side. Anybody that knows me knows I've been having hip pain for the past 2 years and I cannot figure out why. She's like, okay, we're going to get you some x-rays done. We're going to run labs to make sure it's not cancer. We're going to check for inflammation. You know, we're going to check your blood count. They want to make sure it's not arthritis, osteoporosis, like all kinds of stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, well, since you're running my blood, can you check me for STDs as well? Can you make sure that you include HSV1, HSV2, and HIV? She was like, well, I don't know. They usually don't run HIV. Like, I have to. I'm like, no, I want it all. Why would you not do it? I want it all. It's like, okay, do you have any concerns? I said, no, it's just preventative testing. Fun fact, a lot of places or a lot of like clinics, if you tell them it's preventative testing, they will test you for free. If you tell them that like, oh, I think something's wrong or I've been having this issue, then they will charge you or charge your insurance. But usually, or not usually, a lot of the times, if it's preventative, then they will cover it for free. So ask them. So I'm telling her like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about that for real, girl. Like, since the last test I test negative, I've only been with one person 2 times. Like, I would know the 2 exact dates. I'm more so concerned about what's going on with my hip. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Turns out everything say that, I'm wrong. So I went, got my blood drawn. Cool. That was on March 3rd, 2025. So on March 7th, I got an email saying that my lab results have been uploaded into the patient portal. Remind you, this is a new primary care, so I haven't registered for the patient portal yet. So I get on the phone with the doctor's office and I ask them if I can speak with her so that I can get my lab results. And they're like, well, you need an appointment. Our next appointment isn't until Monday. If it's anything critical, if anything crucial, anything that stands out, she will be checking them later today and she will call you. I said, okay. So on March 10th, I have a 9:45 appointment with a psychiatrist. They want to see if I have ADHD. Turns out they diagnosed me with anxiety and depression, right? Very important to this story. Because I hang up with them. 10 minutes later, I get a call, and it's the doctor calling me. And she's like, yeah, so we have some labs come back with abnormal results. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I have bone cancer. That's my immediate thought. And then, like, as soon as the thought finishes, she said, yeah, you tested positive for HIV. Huh? Let him hit it raw. You tested positive for HIV. I said, are you sure? Like, can you read me back my name, first and last name, and date of birth? Because are you checking the right chart? I have never created a patient portal login type fast. Like, while we're on the phone with them, I'm on my phone logging into the patient portal. It's on like page 3. I get to HIV, baby. It says repeatedly reactive. And for some reason, emotionally, I did not have the same reaction or as strong as a reaction as I did for the herpes. I was more so just like, what? I'm like, that's it. That was the least of my concerns, like the very least of my concerns. So she's like, yeah, we got to get you to a specialist immediately. Like, we have an appointment tomorrow at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. Which one do you want? And I'm like, I have work tomorrow. And she's like, listen, the next appointment is not for 2 months, so you need to make this appointment. I get off the phone and I'm just like, all right, well, I got HIV. Like, you let him hit it raw. For some reason, the herpes scared the heck out of me, but with the HIV, I was just kind of like, all right. As long as you're taking your medicine and doing what you're supposed to do, following whatever your treatment plan is, you can have a long, healthy life with HIV. You can have children and literally have a normal life. The worst part about it to me is, one, you can't breastfeed because you can transfer the HIV to your baby. 2, I'm like, I have to tell everybody that I date now. Like, I damn near got to say, hi, my name is Kira and I have HIV. And then I went to my friend's birthday party that day because that was her literal birthday. Or I didn't go to her birthday party, but she had like a little dinner in her house. People are probably shocked to hear this video right now because I haven't really told anybody. So it's the next day. I get to the appointment again, still calm, cool, collected. I'm talking to the lady who draws blood, and I'm like, yeah, so like, you know, how long does it take? Like, what are we checking for exactly? And she was like, I'm gonna partner you with the nurse to answer all those questions. So the nurse called me in the back and she was like, okay, so the test you took the first time was detecting whether or not you have HIV. It comes back positive. They tested more than one time. That's why it says repeatedly reactive. So there's HIV-1 and HIV-2. HIV-1 is contracted here in the US. HIV-2 is contracted overseas. It looks like you have HIV-1, so now we're going to check your blood to see how much of the HIV is in your system. So they're checking for the viral load. A viral load less than 30 is negative. A viral load more than 30 is positive. That'll determine what your treatment is, and you'll go forward with the doctor from there. Usually 5 days to a week and a half to get the results back. We'll give you a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks, but your results will be back way before then.
You see what happened? Her being a know-it-all, not having any father guidance from a father, right, to direct her in the way she should go. Also, one thing I'm happy about, I'm happy she's talking about it online. I'm happy she's open and let guys know. But right now in the Philippines, it's running rampant, right? Because kids out here are going wrong. Good thing is you guys won't come across those kids. But if you guys are coming across these shores, wrap it up, because it's happening all around the world. And the thing with her is a lot of girls that are like her, that come from that same ilk, that are cut from the same cloth, wouldn't even tell you. And look at her with the glasses off. She looks totally different than she does with the glasses on. She looks a little more attractive, right? Somebody, when she had the glasses on, you like, nah, I wouldn't hit that. Looking at her now, you would go, oh man, I'll mess with her. Wrap it up. Because she said it. She said, I'm not the right one to be with. So a lot of you guys would avoid her anyway, but be careful out there. Stay safe.
That man, but you actually just pity him and you feel bad for him, and he triggered your motherly instinct and you're being taken advantage of. Okay, so what I've noticed with me sometimes, or always actually, is that the more you get to know a man and the more comfortable he gets with you, the more you realize most men are not these strong provider men that are to be, followed and for you to be led by. Most men are not that. And the more you get to know them and the more comfortable they get with you, the facade of them pretending to be this strong man who is respectable comes off. Okay, he starts acting like a child, or you start pitying him or feeling bad for him or wanting to take care of him in a way that a mother would want to take care of a child, or in the way that you would want to take care of a pigeon with a broken wing. You know what I mean? And this is how a lot of women end up giving what I call double P, and that's pity puss. Okay, not to be crass, because again, we do like to keep it classy over here, but y'all be giving out double P, that PP, okay? Because you feel bad for him and you think that it's a crush because society tells you that you're supposed to take care of a man and feed him and blah, 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 like a mother would to a child. That's what society teaches us. But that's not really a crush. And actually, that should repulse you that you feel that way towards him. Like, I don't want to pity a grown-ass, able-bodied man. This is who I'm supposed to be led by? This is the man I'm supposed to be subservient to, and I'm sitting here feeling pity for this man after getting to know him? Yikes! So you need to check yourself with that man that you got laying beside you, or that man that you're in a relationship with, or that you have a crush on. Do you actually like him and respect him as a provider man? Or do you pity him and feel bad for him? And do you think he's like, oh, you're so cute in a kind of way? So it's like, yeah, I'll date him. Why not? You know what I mean? Stop it, because he's going to make you regret that. Okay, you're about to be taken advantage of. In the same way most children will take their parents for granted or take their mother for granted, he's about to take you for granted and take you for a blood clot fool, as the Jamaicans like to say. Okay, so check yourself. Do you actually have a crush on him and you feel like a lady when you're around him, and you feel very feminine because he's so masculine and he provides and he's a strong, independent man? Or do you pity him and feel bad for him, and you don't really have anybody else on your roster, so you might as well go for this one? You have to check yourself, ma'am. Check yourself.
You heard her? She thinks she's full of herself, right? What do you mean if you pity him? He's not a provider, man. That's the thing nowadays. This is why guys are leaving. Everyone, every lady talks the same. And then on top of that, they're like this, the first lady, broken around with the HIV and don't even know. Why? Because they're not getting checked in years. That girl was responsible. She tells guys. She's probably walking around with it and don't even know. Because she's dealing with the wrong guys and giving out PP, as she said. That pity put. She's doing that, contracting things most likely. I hate to put that, that fear in guys' heads, but it should be there. Like, seriously. That's why a lot of guys think how we do. When you're in the West, like, guys started having DD. Right? You giving out PP, guys had to have DD. Discipline, right? You got to say, you know what? That was me before I left. I said, because I knew I gave my life to God, and I said, I don't want to play around, right? So I don't want to get another girl hooked on me. So I said, okay, I'm not going to deal with a woman here, right? I said, I'm going to be with Kay and then leave and not get in another relationship. I didn't want to get in a relationship with somebody, lead somebody on when that wasn't what I wanted to, who I wanted to be with anyway. Because Kay was showing improving. Even though I was talking to her online, she was doing certain things no girl has ever done for me. So that right there, I'd be like, man, this is different. And then it led to now. Now I'm living in the Philippines. Been here for 10 years. Go figure, right? Look at that. But you're looking down on men. Same thing with the first girl. She came up looking down on men, being that strong, independent woman. I don't need a man. Feeling, oh, I feel bad for him, so I gave him. That was that PP. So full of herself. You see her with her make the fake up on. She looks good with the fake up on. But definitely be careful, because she's probably most likely walking around like the first girl. Be safe out there. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.